Hello, everybody. I'm Dr. Foley, and I'd like to welcome you all to episode 8 of The Village. So, thank you again for continuing to support The Village. I appreciate everything that you're doing. Moving forward, there's a lot in store. So, be prepared. Tell everyone that you know. Continue to support. Continue to send in those questions, those emails. I am here for you. All right. So, my first question reads: Hi, Dr. Foley. I wanted to let you know that I really love The Village the advice you give. I have a question that I wanted to ask you for the next video. How do you get over having trust issues? It's very difficult for me to have trust in guys specifically. I always feel like they're lying to me or could have bad intentions behind my back. So if you've been in a relationship before and you've been hurt, of course, it is perfectly normal for you to have issues with trust. But for me personally, and I've been in bad relationships where I could have taken the road and said, I'm no longer trusting anyone. But you have to know that in any relationship, that's the risk you're going to take across the board. So for me, what I do is I will go in trusting the person until they give me a reason not to trust them. And really just, get to know the person, get to know their strengths, their weaknesses, focus on what it is that you like most about that person. There are some things that are questionable to you. Really take your time and evaluate and analyze those things and continue to move forward. But I wouldn't necessarily go in thinking as if the person is going to mistreat you, or cheat on you, or do different things like that. Because sometimes, because our mind is such a powerful tool, we allow those thoughts to spill over into our actions, and it may indirectly come across in how you treat that person. So, like I said, I know it's difficult to trust someone immediately in the beginning of any type of relationship. I never fully give myself until I feel like I really know the person and I know their intentions in terms of us. So I just say be careful along the way, pay attention to those small and large signs that you may receive, but don't automatically go in assuming that you're going to be mistreated, because, as I stated earlier, those feelings may sprinkle over into your relationship with that person, and you may be damaging the relationship and it hasn't even begun yet. So just take your time, think about that, and you'll be fine. All right. So my next question reads: Hey, so I heard of you from a friend, and I heard you try and help people like me. I'm going to be honest, I've liked this one girl for a little over a year, and we seem to just stay distant. I want to know how to get past that, and I'm a dry texter, so any advice on that as well. So is this someone that you've expressed interest to? So because you all communicate on the phone, whether it's not as often as you would like, if that person doesn't know your intentions, then how will they ever know if you don't let them know? So if you have not let this young lady know that you like her, I would first suggest doing that to see where she stands. If even, you and her being an option, if that's what you want, is even possible. Because in some situations, and I've been in situations where I thought that maybe the guy wanted a relationship, but he didn't. It was just strictly or solely based off of him wanting to be my friend. And that's cool too, but you want to make sure that she's even open to the idea, if that's something that you really want to pursue. Seeing as how you all have talked for over a year, you would think that some ground would have been made in terms of you getting to know her better. But if you feel like it's not moving how you would like for it to move, then maybe, you can try something different. Maybe talk to her in person, find out her likes, her dislikes, things that you all can actually conversate about. Find out what her classes are, maybe some of the teachers, maybe some of the work, maybe she's struggling in school, maybe you can help her with that. So any kind of way where you can deepen the conversation and kind of show your personality is what I'm suggesting that you do. So in terms of the texting, even with that, that's similar to a regular conversation. If there are things that you want to know, or questions or clarifications that you need about certain things that you feel like she will be willing to respond to, I would just text it. I wouldn't worry about the afterthought. The fact that you have her number doesn't necessarily say that she wants to get with you, but she thinks you're cool enough to have her number. So maybe if you would just increase your means of communication in terms of what you talk about, how often you talk to her, different things like that. I feel like maybe your relationship will blossom, and you'll know if, you know, not necessarily that you're wasting your time, but if at the end of the day you all are going to have the same mindset or the same goal at hand. All right. Okay, so my next question reads, Dr. Foley, whenever someone asks me what I want to be when I grow up, I tell them I want to play ball in the NBA, and they laugh. My mother says this is an unrealistic goal, but I know that it is what I was put here to do. Any advice on how to handle the negativity? So, of course, when students say that they want to be professional athletes, some people may scoff at them or, think that they're I don't want to say ignorant, but think that they're unrealistic in thinking that they have a shot of making it to the NBA or the NFL. And when in reality it's not true. Now, is the percentage of, high school athletes that actually go to the NBA, college athletes that go to the NBA slim? Yes, we know that it's slim. So I don't really think it's more so of it being unrealistic more than that can happen, but you got to make sure that you have a plan B through Z. So, what are you going to do if you cannot, if you don't make it to the NBA and NFL? So, you want to make sure that you have those necessary things lined up or those goals that you plan to accomplish just in case your plan A fails. Now, do I believe that you're capable of playing in the NBA and NFL? Yes, but you have to think of the number of people, the number of males that really want to do that. And you have to question certain things. Are you working twice as hard? How much dedication are you giving to your craft? What are you doing to make sure that your craft continuously enhances? Are you going above and beyond to make sure that you're the best of the best, representing yourself in excellence at all times? Because you have to know for every one great athlete, there's probably 50 more that are greater. So keep that in mind. I say pursue your goals. If you want to be a professional sports player, by all means do that. People have done it. So I'm not saying that you can't do it, but what I am saying is that it's important to have other plans in place just in case that doesn't happen. In my high school, we had about maybe 4 or 5 of my friends that were predicted to go to the NBA after college. None of them made it due to injuries. One of them actually passed. God forbid that happens to you. But so different things can happen in life. You may hurt yourself, and I'm not saying that I want any of these things to happen to you. I want you to be this professional player that you're trying to be, but make sure that you're being careful about it and you're planning your life out in terms of, hey, if this doesn't work, what's next? If this doesn't work, what's next? Because as we know that life can throw you major challenges, so you just want to be ready for whatever comes your way. So go out there, keep practicing, keep hustling, keep grinding, keep perfecting your crafts, and I know that you'll get to where you're trying to be. Village. Okay. So my next question reads, how do I get over being shy? So shyness is real, people. And trust me when I say that I know, because for the longest, middle school, some years of high school, I was very shy. One thing that I would suggest is maybe to evaluate your shyness, like get to the root of why you feel like you're actually shy. Like did something happen? Are you just naturally shy? And once you get to that, even if you can't find it, you have to just really think about what causes you to be shy. So is it speaking in front of people? Are you that way around everyone? How do you act around your friends? Is it large crowds? Different things like that. So one thing that I would say to get over it is to not compare yourself to your friends. So that's what I would like to do a lot of the times when I struggled with being shy. I would say, okay, I'm just going to do what they do. When in reality, we know that that's not going to work because I'm not them. So how they move around, I can't move around that way. I don't have their personalities. So I started practicing. I know this is weird, but I started practicing just having these general conversations in the mirror with myself of, me going up to people, introducing myself, doing things that I wasn't used to doing. Another thing that I would suggest is possibly to join clubs that, pertain to your interests. In doing that, you will meet more people who have the same interests, and hopefully from there, a friendship could grow. You never know. So, you also have to reframe your thinking. So a lot for me was internal. I would be around groups of people. I would think maybe they're talking about me or they're looking at me when no one was paying attention to me. It was all in my mind. So, the mind is a powerful tool. So we have to be careful what thoughts we allow into our minds. And unfortunately, during that time in my life, not now, but I did have a lot of negative thoughts in terms of me being shy, why I'm shy. It really somewhat affected my self esteem, different things like that. So like I said, I would suggest mainly just going out there and trying to do things that you're not used to doing. Yes, I know it's going to be scary. I know you're fearful of maybe rejection, maybe someone looking at you like you're crazy if you just start talking to them out of the blue. These are all things that I used to think in my mind. But as time went on and I began to accept who I was for who I was and became more comfortable with myself, I noticed that the shyness kind of dissolved. So in certain instances, of course, I may freeze up or I may get nervous or shy, but I know that it initially starts with you recognizing, where it comes from and how you're going to go about effectively handling it. So just step outside your box, try to make new friends, do things that you have never done before, positive things, of course, that could expose you to different people who are willing to befriend you and accept your shyness, or maybe show you how to get out of that shyness, how to, move away from it, how to shy away from your shyness. So, with practice and in time, I'm sure that this is something that can be dealt with. So, don't ever feel like it's not, or that you're doomed and this is how you'll be for forever, because that's not necessarily the case. Okay? Village. All right, I have one more question. 1 minute. Sorry, guys. I have the question. Okay. It says, "Hey, my friend brought up a person that I have a complicated relationship with, and it made me really uncomfortable and a little angry. Me and this person haven't talked in months, but used to be extremely close. Now I can barely stand to see them. How do I deal with my hateful emotions towards this person?" So I'm assuming that there's a very grand reason as to why you hate them. Hate is a very strong word. I prefer you use dislike. It's a little softer. Um, but I just feel like if that's someone that's no longer in your life, and I know depending on what happened and how the friendship ended and different things like that, it may take time, but depending on how that person left your life, I feel that it should possibly just stay with them and when they left. So whatever this hateful animosity that you're harboring, I strongly suggest let it go, because it's not healthy at all. And I don't know, like the thoughts or someone saying someone's name should not be enough to evoke these kind of hateful emotions. So I'm not saying forgive. I'm not a psychologist, but I would say, move towards, or, just tell yourself that you're going to try to do a better job of moving towards not hating this person and being able to hear their name or something about them, and, not getting all angry and aggressive just because you hear their name and it evokes a memory. I have several people in my life right now that maybe at one point in time, depending on how fresh the ending departure of the relationship was, that I would say, man, I don't want to hear their names, or, things like that. But it never got me to a point of where I was hateful. So you never want to be hateful towards anybody, or like harbor those feelings, because that takes energy and that is negative energy. And while you're harboring all this negative energy, they're probably over there chilling, living their life. So I understand, depending on the situation, you may have some animosity maybe that you have not dealt with, but I would not allow it to infiltrate in my life or my day-to-day actions. Even if you heard a name from the past, because it's the past, that's why it's all the more reason you should let it go. All right, village. Okay, you all, it's about that time. Please, please, please send me your questions. You can drop your questions below. Follow me on Instagram. Tell everyone you know. The village is my home for forever. So whatever you all need, I'm here. I'm not a psychologist, but I love you. I want to help you. I want to see you be successful in life. Until next time, peace.